Hey everyone, welcome to Boss Run. I am your beloved host, Billy Hoosh, and I've got a bunch of stuff to tell you this week. Well, not really, but maybe I can wing it a bit. Not too much happening this week because I almost forgot to record this. It's been a long weekend. It's Persian New Year's. It's Nowruz, which is the basically the spring equinox. Is that it? So what was it? Friday, it was spring. So it's our holiday. Except this year, our family got together on Saturday, yesterday, to celebrate. And this is not common for Persian families, but we just made a big ass turkey and ate a bunch of food. So I'm still like got that turkey hangover from yesterday, and I've been eating a lot of sweets and a lot of stuff that maybe I regret, maybe I don't, but that's okay. It's the New Year's. You gotta live it on up. But yeah. So too much eating. Also, interesting thing from last week until up to Thursday, I got to dog sit. So my sister and her fam went on vacation for a week, so I got to watch a dog. I guess you could say a geriatric dog, older dog, but still lots of spunk in that animal. Pause. But yeah, it was the first time I took care of a dog. I've never owned dogs. It was mainly cats, so it was pretty cool and it was great. I always assumed that dogs are a lot of work compared to cats, but I guess it's different if you have a well-trained animal, well-trained dog who's just like basically on autopilot. I couldn't have asked for a sweeter companion for a short time. So that was pretty awesome taking care of that dog. It makes me want a dog myself. I know my friend Matt. So Matt, you should check out his podcast, Losing It with Matt Duncan. He got a dog, maybe recently, maybe not. And like, it makes me think maybe I've always thought that I'd just get a cat again because I've always had cats, but maybe in these twilight years of my life, I should think about getting a canine companion. I think it'd be nice. I had no problem picking up poop. But because of that, as a thank you, they gave me a sack of coffee. Everyone knows I love coffee beans, whole beans. I'm all that. Medium roast, please. And they gave me a gift card, but it was like a gift card for a service. I guess it's like gift cards for you or something like that, where you have to log into a website and there's only specific different stores or what have you, online stores that you can get this e-card, you can cash it in for. And that was a dilemma because a lot of the stuff were stuff that pretty much most of the stuff was stuff that I don't really, brands or stores I don't really buy from. And a lot of like fast food or like skip the dishes and like share economy stuff that like I've never, besides like maybe when I was a kid, a pizza, I've never really ordered food to the house or anything like that. So I'm like, So I was looking at like, what are the gaming stuff that they had? And I was hoping I could cash it in for like the two platforms that I mainly use. Well, I guess the three would be Nintendo, but they're rarely part of any like e-gift card setup. But it was like PSN. I was hoping there would be like PSN money that I could cash it for, or Steam, because those are the two places that I buy games. No, it had only Xbox, which I have no reason to ever get Xbox money. But then it had Twitch. And I was like, well, whatever. Maybe I'll get some like Twitch money and I'll watch Twitch sometimes. I don't really I'll watch like special events on Twitch, because if you watch like a press conference, usually Twitch has the least amount of delay compared to if you watch the YouTube stream of it. So if you're watching online with a group of friends on your Discord or something like that, everyone kind of syncs up to the Twitch one, even though the quality is a little worse than YouTube. But for watching like streamers, there's always tons of ads. So I thought this is something I would never spend my money on, but whatever, I'll cash it in and I'll get Twitch Turbo for a little bit so I can get those sweet, sweet drops. Because I got all the marathon drops because I've been playing a lot of marathon. Drops are basically when you watch a streamer stream a certain game, it's like a promotion deal that usually the streamers that they're paying to, not all the time, but usually streamers that they're paying to stream a certain game to get it popular. It's usually a brand new game. If you watch their stream, you usually get some trinkets or cosmetics or sometimes like whatever consumable items that are in-game items. You can usually get them for watching the streamer for a certain amount of time or whatnot. So I got a bunch of marathon drops and Crimson Desert drops. And those are the two games I've been playing that I'll talk about shortly. So I'm watching more Twitch because I have Twitch Turbo. Makes me think maybe I should stream a bit on Twitch again. Even though I'm not particularly a great gamer, I just like talking about games a lot. So I don't know, maybe I'll try it again, but I've been watching more Twitch lately thanks to that lovely gift. Wasn't necessary. It was enough of a gift to watch that sweet, sweet dog. So that is that. That's what's going on there. Hardware news, the only, I guess not hardware news, but maybe software news. Windows has been, Microsoft, has been promising and saying that shortly there's going to be a bunch of Windows update releases. I did get one today. I did get a bunch today where Microsoft wants to clean up their act. There's been a lot of pushback these last couple of years of people saying that Microsoft Windows is very much bloatware. They've been shoehorning in AI through Copilot into almost all the core applications, and people don't like that. Mainly gamers don't like that. And there's been a big movement of gamers and just like former PC users moving to Linux, using Linux distributions like Mint or Bazite for gaming and stuff like that, because people are getting fed up of Microsoft Windows trying to get them to use their AI. But it's been exciting reading about these developments of trying to make Windows more lightweight, use less RAM, which is important during this RAM crisis, and also making it better for gaming. There's been updates to the DirectX API. DirectX is basically like, it's almost like the tool set or the middleware between software and the hardware, mainly for gaming. And they're working on making shader compilation better. So the big thing with like Windows games or playing computer games compared to console games or even games on Steam OS is that sometimes some engines, they get a lot of stuttering. So whenever you go into like a new part of a level, or mainly whenever you encounter a new animation. So say like you come up to a new bad guy and the bad guy has a special move that you haven't seen. This is the first time you see him pull out an axe and like swing at you with it. During that first animation, it sometimes stutters a bit. It skips, because it's like compiling that animation for the first time in the game. And then after that, it's fine. But that kind of ruins the experience, especially like scary games or stuff like that, where like, oh, like you finally see something new and it's not repetitive coming from a environment or a game, and then it stutters. So it just really sucks when you get that. Some PC games are good about it because they like compile. So when you first load up the game, there's like a progress bar It's almost like it's loading, like almost loading, but it need not to have this. Windows is trying to work on solving these issues to make gaming more stable for PC gamers. And I think they realize that this is a critical moment for them to do so, as the looming release of the Steam box, which is Valve's kind of like console for like a PC console that you could hook it up to your TV. And they'll be competing with their Xbox, the next Xbox, what's it called? Helix, I think, is a code name for it. So the next Xbox that I think comes out this year is basically a powerful PC that you can connect to your TV. And you can play Xbox games on it, but you can also play Windows games on it. So it's like a PC. So also there's the assumption that a lot of the streamlining and optimization for gaming will also help that console be a good gaming PC replacement. So maybe next time people are looking to upgrade their gaming PC and they already have like a lot of, like, you have a huge Steam library or Epic Games library or whatever, or Windows Store. Maybe you're that wild person who has a lot of games that bought on the Windows Store. Then maybe with the high cost of graphics cards and RAM and stuff like that, people might buy that next Xbox system knowing that they'll have access to all their games, the big library of PC games. So strategically, it makes sense for Microsoft to do this. And I hope it's successful, because not only is that a win for people who want to buy that new Xbox, but it's a win for people who have PCs and are still gaming on the PC. I enjoy gaming on my PC. I enjoy gaming on my Steam Deck, especially like remote play. But I like my PlayStation. And I guess another bit of gaming news was the new PSSR, PlayStation Super Sampling Spectral something, blah, 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 Resolute. Basically, it's the upscaling algorithm similar to like DLSS or FSR if you're an AMD user. That came out, and it came out at the console level. So in your PlayStation settings, you can turn it on force it onto all games. And it just makes the graphics on the PlayStation a lot better, which is really cool. It's really cool when things you already own that you don't have to pay for again get better because the manufacturer pushes an update. I mean, ideally, it would have been better if out of the box, like when you bought your PlayStation 5 Pro last year or 2 years ago, when did that come out? It was like this, but hey, man, late is better than never. So those are exciting. It's exciting when like Windows and Sony are actually doing work on their existing hardware and just pushing out free software to make things better. That's great. That's pro-consumer, and I'm all down with that. Anyways, the next thing I want to talk about are the games. So I've been pretty much just playing 2 games, plus I played a demo of a game, which was cool. Let's talk about first Marathon. I've been playing a lot of Marathon, and it's been fun playing Marathon with a consistent crew of peeps that are better players than me, that can drag my ass through contracts and through these levels. That's been a great experience. It's a very fun game. I like a lot of multiplayer games. You really do need actual friends that you can talk on the mic with to properly enjoy them. So Marathon's been great. Playing that game, leveling up. Things are starting to get a little bit more easy to play. Anyways, the big thing was that Bungie, the developers of the Marathon game, they released a bunch of updates and new modes, especially this weekend. There's this mode called the Cryo Archive. Now, to use both these modes now, you have to be a certain amount of rank, and you also need to build a loadout, or at least enter that level with a loadout of a certain value. So it is gated by kind of like skill, or just, yeah, I would say almost skill. So basically the Cryo Archive, it ties together the game's story to the original 90s Marathon Mac games, which is really cool. You are now going into the Marathon ship. From what I remember from falling asleep to a bunch of like YouTube videos that are recapping the story, the game is loosely on, because of my memory, a ship called the Marathon sent from, I think, Earth, I don't know, with like humans and whatever, to go to this Tau Ceti planet and start a new colony. Something went bad on the ship. And the thing that went bad was stuff with like rogue AI and aliens. Now this game Marathon that came out recently, the online version of the game, is set hundreds of years later, where you're like, I guess, a human that's like consciousness was uploaded to, I don't know, the data center, to AWS, I don't know what. And you can then put your consciousness into these 3D printed bodies that are deployed on that planet Tau Ceti, where the human colony was that vanished. So basically you're doing contracts for various AIs or corporations to try to find out like what happened on the planet, maybe get back some of their equipment or information and stuff like that. It's just like these corporate contracts that you're doing. Some of them are just like competing corporate contracts. Anyways, now they unlocked, and I think it's like limited to weekends or whatever, where all that crap that you've accumulated, the loot and stuff that you found on that planet, you then can enter into the Cryo Archive, which is on the Marathon ship. So basically now you're going onto that busted ass ship that's been hanging around in the planet's orbit. And when you're in there, it's almost like a gauntlet of these different robots that you have to fight that are really high level. There's a lot of like top level gear in that in this area. And then you have to like find these clearance cards to like move another level into the ship. And eventually you also encounter other crews of people that are trying to kill you, and everyone's got high level gear. So it is this very interesting, cool, like mysterious, and just the way that they're tying the story. It's like show not tell. Like you're learning more about the world and the story through playing this stuff, and it's not really holding your hand. It's just like it has that sense of discovery. Anyways, I was able to do just it once with the crew, and then once we died, like was wiped of any gear to build another like effective loadout. So it was like whatever. We played a bunch of ranked matches, because that's another thing they introduced this weekend, where you basically get like a ranked tag from the store. You have to keep that on your body. And this one is also gated by a certain loadout. You have to have, your loadout has to be worth 3,000K. And then you can enter ranked mode map. And it seems to be that the ranked mode, or the points that you accumulate for your rank, is based off of the value of the loot that you collect and exfil with. So it's very interesting. And I don't think you get any like rank for killing other players though. That's been hard. Played a bunch of that last night and was consecutive and just like, yeah, consecutively losing and just dying quite a bit, to the point that it was pretty miserable. But then again, it was like Saturday night, the first weekend of this rank mode. A lot of the hot talent was out and was just feeling the heat. It was a bloodbath for our crew. But it was fun. It's a very fun game. It's very interesting. It very much exceeded the expectations. Like, this is an interesting time in the gaming where almost like everyone's looking for these games to fail. There's like an overwhelming sense of pessimism towards games. And I guess it's just people kind of like raging against the machine and against like these big budget titles that are coming out, and people are like witch hunting AI slop, and like Marathon had the stank of another like games as a service online only game around it, which people just think or see it as a money grab. Also, during the beta, they had a controversy where people found, I don't think it was AI generated, but stolen art in the game. And then the artists came and just proved that, look, one of the developers straight up stole my designs and art, put it in the game. So it's just a lot of negativity surrounding that game. And even I played 2 of the betas. They were okay, but it wasn't until the full release came out they really like landed the eagle at the end there. So it's been a great experience. I recommend Marathon. If you have a consistent crew of people at least, or you're not shy to talk on the microphone, and like even talking to like randoms and like pubbies and stuff like that, overall the community of people playing Marathon that if you get matchmake with, they're pretty decent people. And the game's set up to reward you to cooperate with your crew. If you do each other's contracts, even if you're doing helping someone finish their contract that you've already completed, you get lots of points and you can level up. So it's a very interesting way of playing around with the formula. But it also feels like the sense of pessimism on these big titles, and like a lot of these big titles are very much also derivative of different games we played in the past. And I can also see that people think these are like money grabs and stuff like that, because it like I explained before, Marathon very much has like it's an extraction shooter. So it has the lineage of like a lot of old games like Escape from Tarkov, or like even you could say PUBG, a lot of these games put all together. So yeah, I get that, but give it a chance. If you're curious about it, definitely try the game. Like, it's not going to go anywhere. Like, it's not going to be like a game that they're going to pull the plug on, like Concord or Highguard or what have you. I'm pretty sure that it's hit a level of success that it's definitely has legs for sure. But yeah, that game's been fun. Another game that is controversial and has a lot of like resistance to it, and it's quite divisive as the reviews came out, is Crimson Desert. So I've been playing Crimson Desert. I don't even think I've hit 10 hours yet on the game. Supposedly this game is huge. Supposedly it's like a 200-hour game. Crimson Desert it's an open world action game set in this like weird medieval, but also has like alchemy and sci-fi in it. It's weird. It's unique. Made by big budget game. I would say it's a AAA game made by South Korean developer that used to make MMO games, massively multiplayer online games. And my initial impressions of the game is it reminds me a lot of Assassin's Creed game. It reminds me a lot of like an open world Ubisoft game. But it has like quite a bit more mechanics in it, that it's also like a cross between an Ubisoft open world game, so Assassin's Creed, and almost like also an immersive simulator game too. So like a like a Bethesda game or like Kingdom Come Deliverance, where you can pretty much pick up anything in the world and like sell it or use it and stuff like that. So it has like this high level of detail in this massive, massive world. I've been having fun with the game. I haven't had any technical issues with the game. However, I do believe people playing it on console have experienced technical issues, especially the base level. PlayStation 5 seems to need some patches and stuff. I think even like the PC version, like the good thing is you hear, similar to Marathon, you're hearing a lot of feedback like from the devs each day that they're saying, like acknowledging if people have issues with anything and that they're constantly patching it and working on it. I think this game probably in like 4 months, it's going to be patched to a level that it's going to be very high quality. And with a price drop, I think it's going to become like this like cult classic. That's what I sense with this. I like it. If you really are like into something different and you want this like open world experience or whatever, sure, pick up the game. I would say you get that sense of like, kind of like Lost in Translation, or because it's like a South Korean developer and they're writing for like this world that is similar to like Game of Thrones-ish or whatever. And they have pretty good voice acting. Like it's top quality voice acting, a lot of like UK accents and stuff like that that make it that believable Game of Thrones-ish world. But the writing and the narrative seems kind of weird. And I think that is because it's like maybe something is lost in translation there. I think like the like Japanese games kind of it worked for some reason. I don't know why. But when they would do some, sometimes they wouldn't. Sometimes when they do those medieval settings like Final Fantasy and stuff, I think because the world is different and weird enough, it kind of works. Like for me, I'm playing the game and it's just so weird that I like it. I like that kind of games. But it's not like a super polished experience like, oh, I'm playing a movie. Like it's not like Red Dead Redemption level of like high style and like incredible writing. But I mean, once again, I'm not even I'm not even 10 hours to a 200-hour game, so I can't really say that much. It feels like it's a game of like trying to get the band together. Like you're this character called Cliff, and your tribe called the Greymanes was just like disbanded by the Black Bears. I don't know, this other like competing fraction. And you pretty much the Mana myth story, like the Jesus cycle, the hero quest journey happens to Cliff. Like he gets like killed and then he goes into the underworld, which is actually the above world. And it's kind of like if you played Tears of the Kingdom, the up in the sky, that weird like sci-fi kind of medieval world called the Abyss in this game. And you're figuring out stuff in that. There's like puzzles that were kind of cool. Like it was almost like completing a circuit board and installing like a CPU, a giant CPU. And that justifies like fast travel and stuff like that with that world. I'm still new to that, but you have these different like supernatural skills because of this other world. But then once you get back, you're building your community. You're trying to build back the Greymanes by finding other members of your tribe and then building like this big base to it. So it's pretty cool. It's still like lots of jank in it. Like there's a lot of like the one thing that I don't like so much is a lot of the NPCs. Well, you can greet each NPC and that builds like a trust or rapport in that area. But a lot of the NPCs say the exact same thing over and over again, which just kind of just breaks the immersion. It's like this game is so deep in immersion with like you can pick up anything. It looks like a very like handmade world, but all the NPCs kind of say the same thing when you talk to them. The same voice actor saying the same lines. Like everyone, all the male NPCs just had a child and they're happy their child called them Pa. They all say that line over and over again, spanning from like many, many kilometers. That is like immersion breaking, and it's unfortunate. Just stuff like that. The controls are pretty weird. They are very weird. Maybe like a similar, like it's like Grand Theft Auto where you have to like tap the X button or the A button if you're using an Xbox controller to run faster, which is like different. It's been a while. And like there's so many different moves and things you can do, your character can do. It's really hard to remember how to do them, and they're really weird button combinations. The UI is kind of like herky-jerky, like just slapped together and like a mess to go through. The one big gripe that I have about the UI is it takes so long to get to the save screen. And then once you save the game, to exit the game, you have to go to the title screen, and then you have to like wait a bit for it to say the name of the developer, the name of the game, and then a pause, and then finally you can exit the game. That's insane. I wish it just had like exit game in the menu so you could just quickly save and exit game. That's kind of weird that they didn't do that. I know for like console games, they usually do that kind of stuff to make it, because they know you don't usually exit a game in a console game. But this seems like a PC first game, like a PC first developed game. So that's a little strange, but it's refreshing playing a new IP despite it being quite derivative of various different games. It's like they looked at every game, every open world game, and anything they thought that was cool, they're like, we should just put this in our game. Which is pretty crazy, but they did it. A lot of people that have been playing it, like streamers and stuff like that, who've been playing it and hitting 100 hours, they end up loving the game. It seems like some of like the bigger media outlets that do reviews, because they only had 2 weeks to complete the review when they got a review key to play the game. The speculation is that they were rushing through the storyline to finish the main story without really engaging too much with the open world. And that's why a lot of them, like a lot of the big, games spots and IGNs, a lot of them gave it like a 7 out of 10 kind of score, or 6 out of 10. I think the Metacritic for this game is like 79%. And a lot of people are saying it might have been because of time constraints of trying to finish the game to give a review, and people kind of didn't like that. But yeah, it seems like this is a long tail game where it's going to become a cult classic as it gets more refined through patches and sales. Like I can see this game like going on sale and a lot of people picking it up and being like, wow, this is great value playing it. But yeah, I will play more of that game. Well, that's my current new game. That's probably going to be playing a lot of like Marathon and Crimson Desert until the next game that I have that I'm looking forward to is Pragmata, which I think comes out April 17th or something like that. It got pushed up. And you don't often you hear about delays in games, but Pragmata, the due date, or it got pushed forward, which is really interesting. So that's the next game I'm looking forward to. So probably next week I'll have a better idea of how I feel about Crimson Desert. so far I've been enjoying it. It reminds me of when I was playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. So it gives me those kind of vibes of Assassin's Creed Shadows. The fighting system is pretty fun. Like so far I beat 2 bosses and it wasn't too difficult as long as you have like stuff to eat or whatever. Your character has healables, consumables. It's okay. And I've done a bunch of quests, but I'm still like early in the game. Like I would say I'm still like tutorial level early in the game. So playing more of that game, we'll see. I've been enjoying playing the game on my Steam Deck through remote play. I played more of the game on my Steam Deck than I did on my PC. I never tried playing it natively on the Steam Deck because I'm assuming it's probably going to be like 30 or 20 frames per second. So I've just been doing remote play and getting the full 90 frames per second on it. And it's been great. It's been fun. I love playing these open world, like massive world games on a handheld. There's just something futuristic about it, like crazy that you can, this huge world to explore in this like little device. I think that's cool. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, this might be a shorter episode because I've only been playing 2 games. And I kind of also last week I said I was going to finish the Call of Duty season. I don't think I am. I've been playing too much Marathon to like revisit Call of Duty. I might be done with that game. I think Marathon has taken the throne for my the online game that I do enjoy playing. And I've been playing Marathon on the PlayStation 5 because the crew that I've been playing with, they're on PlayStation 5. So it's just easier using the PlayStation's party chat that's built into it, which is great. I'm like, anytime that I get to get more play out of that PlayStation, I'm happy because I don't even know what's the next exclusive title on the PlayStation that I want to play. It's probably going to be Wolverine because I know like the next exclusive title is that Saros, the game made by that company Housemarque who made Returnal. I never really got into Returnal, and I don't think Saros is going to be my game either. So I think that game comes out in April. So it'll be interesting seeing how it reviews. I'm sure it's going to do well because Returnal was well received. And like the good thing with like Sony exclusives, they usually do end up on the subscription service that you get with your PlayStation. But Wolverine, I'll definitely pick up day one. I'm looking forward to that game. I still need to finish the sequel to Spider-Man and the Miles Morales game, hopefully before Wolverine comes out. So those are on my backlog. On my PC, I do have a backlog of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is like almost a game I'm saving in the back pocket of whenever there's like a big lull, I'm going to pull out that game and play that game because I love the first one. But I think it's a little too close to Crimson Desert. And I want to just play through this game. What else is coming down the pipe? Well, Grand Theft Auto 6 is the other, I guess in this case, it will be the exclusive game that I'll be playing on PlayStation 5 Pro, just because it is a timed exclusive, which is fine. I've always felt, to me, the 3D Grand Theft Auto games have always been PlayStation games to me. Even though the OG Grand Theft Autos, the top-down ones, I remember just playing the time demos on the PC and cracking it and playing it for as long as I could. Those were awesome. There's also the Phantom Blade Zero game. That game is actually comes out on PlayStation and PC, so I'll probably be picking it up on Steam. I buy my multi-platform games on my PC, and then I only play exclusive games on my PlayStation. 2 reasons for that. One reason, my PC is more powerful than my PlayStation. That's the one thing. It's just the hardware. I have like a very good gaming PC that is that blows the PlayStation out of the water. Plus, my monitor for my PC is a very nice OLED panel, So it is a better experience visually playing it on my PC, but also Steam games can be bought for like 20 or 30%, maybe more. Maybe I would say 35% cheaper. I can get my games on PC than on PlayStation, because I buy them off like reseller websites. I use that, what's it called? Is there a deal.com? I think that's what it's called. There's a plugin for the browser called Augmented Steam. And basically it's a plugin where then when you go to the Steam webpage, underneath each game's price, it'll show you the cheapest price you can buy it from a CD key reseller. And they're all legit. They're not scams. So I buy often from sites like Fanatical and Green Man Gaming, and it's usually like at least 20% off, at the minimum 20% off for a brand new game, like pre-orders. Plus, like Fanatical is tax free, so I don't have to pay 15% or whatever taxes, 13% taxes, and I get like cash back. I think I get like 2% cash back on my like rewards credit card for that website. So it's just crazy. You stack all these savings and stuff like that I can't beat it. I cannot justify buying a game on the PlayStation if I can get it on my gaming PC just for price alone. But it is also nice for people who, like, if you were getting into gaming right now and you want to be able to play a wide array of games and you're not a huge Nintendo fan, probably the PlayStation 5 Pro would be the way to go. I would say yes, absolutely. The PS5 Pro would be the way to go, especially since they enhanced it with the latest update. You can't beat the level of graphics you're getting and the selection of games for the price of the system. Like, you can't buy a PC that is that good at that price. That's why kudos to Sony to still staying competitive, even though they don't really need to, since Xbox is right now tapped out of the game. Nintendo also, this was another thing I guess I could have spoke about during the hardware. It seems like everyone updated their upscaling. Everyone updated their AI slopping. So Nintendo also released an update for the Switch 2 that makes the graphics of PlayStation Switch 1 games look better. Like, it upscales them properly so they don't look washed out if you have a 4K TV like they used to. And they also look very clear on your if you play handheld. Because I think Switch 2, the handheld screen was like 720p, but I mean Switch 1, when you played handheld, it was 720p, and then on your TV, it was 1080p. Now this makes it that if you play your Switch 1 game on your Switch 2, when you play it handheld, because the Switch 2 has a 1080p screen, it plays the game 1080p handheld, and it looks sharp, but then it upscales it on your TV to 4K, and it looks sharp there too. So that's great. That breathes a lot of life into people playing Switch, because they get to get all the Switch 2 back catalog, plays great on the Switch 2. Switch 1 back catalog does. I forgot to also mention Crimson Desert is also getting some, they're being witch hunted, but rightfully so. Players have found instances of generative AI art in the game. So sometimes you would go into the medieval castles and areas, and there would be these like paintings on walls, and they kind of look realistic paintings. But anyways, people found paintings that look like they use like really old generative AI models. So they're like the like people have like extra limbs. Like, there's examples of like horses that have too many legs and just looks like kind of like crap. AI slop. And they're being put on blast for including these AI generated assets, especially since on your Steam page, part of Valve's policy on the Steam platform is if you use generative AI in your game, you have to disclose it to the consumer. And it wasn't disclosed. Crimson Desert, the developer for Crimson Desert, posted on X stating that it was a mistake that these elements were still left in. They were supposed to just be placeholders during development, which was like an excuse for other developers have used this excuse in the past. But they also said that they are going to patch it out with some properly made art. So it looks like they got a lot of work to do with a lot of like patches and stuff like that. So it's unfortunate. Majority of games and stuff have been programmed using AI tools, like the programming side of it. But no one really likes generative AI art, especially if it's just like bad, because it kind of insults your intelligence and it just makes you feel like you wasted money. Oh, I think the developers of Expedition 33 used that excuse. They said that they had elements that were just put in there as placeholders, but I think they were just like a couple, whereas this people found a bunch. I hope that this pushback against using generative AI kind of like brings the artists in these games to the forefront. Maybe more people will end up getting work, or maybe next time they do these like press releases or interviews with the developers and stuff like that, they should like highlight and showcase the artists creating the assets and the art to these games and celebrate them more, because maybe that's going to be a selling point for these titles. And I think that would be a great change or great thing. Like even before generative AI, there's been like, I don't know, like these big studio farms in like China or where have you, India, that lots of people are just sitting and toiling away, making like chairs and forks and just the fifth business type of art in these games. But now those people were replaced with Gen AI. Maybe this industry can invest in having artists create these things, and maybe like players will appreciate it more. I don't know. All I can say is I want to be optimistic and hope some good comes from all of this. But yeah. I would say that's it for my gaming experience this week. I hope you guys are all doing well. Happy spring. Happy Nowruz. Let me know what you guys think. What are you guys playing right now? Let me know what you guys are doing with your video gaming in the comments. If you're watching the YouTube version of this, remember we're on YouTube. You can subscribe there. I'm on Spotify, and it's a video version on Spotify, which is kind of cool. So please subscribe there and give us a rating. The audio version is on Apple Music, or not Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. I believe eventually a video version will be rolling out on that. A little birdie has been emailing me, telling me that Apple Podcasts will also have video similar to Spotify. So that's something to look forward to. Thank you so much, everyone. Keep on playing video games. Take care.